Do you want hand tossed or pan?
Hand tossed.
You do like hand tossed the best?
Yes.
And what kind?
Cheese.
That sounds delicious.
Scott is unique. He's not like anyone else I've ever known, and it's not because of his disability.
He's always full of smiles, and I can walk in the door after having like a really rough day, and he comes up and he gives me a hug and he says, "I love you, Lauren," and it just makes my day. It makes everything better.
He's like genuinely caring about you, even though he can't necessarily express it all the time.
From the very beginning, Scott didn't fit cleanly in any category. He wasn't clearly autistic, he wasn't clearly developmentally delayed, he had characteristics of both. So as a parent, that's really difficult because you don't know which path to go to and follow to get him the help that he needs. There's really two paths that you can follow, and one is very skill-driven, and the other approach focuses on the emotional piece. It's all about honoring a child's developmental state.
So at a time when others were learning how to tie shoes and do other specific tasks, Scott wasn't learning that, and that was a trade-off. It takes a lot of faith and a lot of making sure that you're being an advocate on all fronts.
I belong to you. You belong to... Huh. There you go.
Hey! Huh.
As the cost of Scott's care had continued to increase, we said we're not going to let money get in the way. How do you let money get in the way of helping your child develop into the best they can be? Well, I'll tell you how. We became experts at jockeying around the credit cards. And when you have 6 figures worth of debt, it became very, very real to us that this was not something that's sustainable.
Brian's brother had met someone employed by Northwestern Mutual who specialized in families with special needs children. So his brother called and said, "Hey, they want you to meet with them. They think they can help you."
We said no 3 times. Maybe we didn't want to admit we didn't have the means to sustain something that was critically important to our son and to the rest of our family.
Honestly, we only had that meeting to appease Brian's brother.
He walked in and thanked us for having a conversation, and then he just wanted to find out more about Scott, nothing about money. "Tell me about your daughters."
Have you met with a special needs attorney? Have you talked to people about respite?
None of that had anything to do with, "Hey, do you want to buy some insurance?" That's the difference.
The plan has a lot of different components, and it wasn't strictly the dollars that we'd have to have saved. It also considered trusts and wills that should be in place, what tax benefits that you could get and what you should avoid from a tax standpoint. It taught us what benefits would be available today versus Scott as an adult. And of course, it took into consideration the needs of the rest of the family.
Having that financial planning and working with Northwestern Mutual is perhaps even more critical for people that don't have the resources in the beginning. And that was something that I didn't really think through at the time. But what it does is it minimizes risk. Period, the end.
Trust is critical for Scott. Probably far greater even than for any of us. Trust also manifests itself in our family with the girls because they knew Scott had needs, but they had to trust the fact that we would meet their needs too.
It's a luxury to be able to focus on today and not have to worry about perhaps 3 years, 5 years, 15 years. It's also an incredible benefit knowing that we've done the right thing and the best thing for Scott and for the girls by having something like the future carved out for them. When he was 5 years old, there was no sign of affection. Today, I walk in the house, "Hi, Daddy. How was your day?" I would have never imagined. Never imagined.
Scott's very connected to people, and he has great empathy for people.
That's the Scott we have today.